So let's see. Oh, I usually do this. Brenda, you know this, Brema.
I'm going to do it with you.
It used to be called palming the eyes. I don't know what it's called yet. No, I can't
Uh,
remember.
yeah, I can't remember now either. Because there's a couple of them with rubbing hands
Yeah,
for the kidneys.
this is the simple one where you just kind of put it over your eyes.
Simply dispensed.
Okay, so you're going to make me look at the December calendar for the rest of the year, right?
Okay, let's just change that now. Oh, it's our time limit. Don't you know that? So look at mushrooms.
Thank you very much.
Alrighty. It's a good thing you can't see the rest of my room.
At least you don't have a fake background.
Oh yeah, some people have those. I don't know how they do that.
Well, you can choose to do it.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Like a wallpaper or something?
Yeah, no, it's called a green screen or a blue screen, something like that.
Okay. You can see my octopus.
Oh gosh. Oh Lord.
Oh my.
Who'd you steal that from?
I
Some
bought
kid
I bought this in Georgia of all places.
well,
I was gonna do a I was gonna do a sculpture of a octopus in my yard. I never did, but I bought this as a model. Well, let's see. What do I do?
Put on your glasses.
I didn't write anything to this week, and Glenda, I don't remember you sending me anything.
Yes, I sent you the warm side of the window.
Oh, cool. Okay. Yeah, let's just read that then. Let's see.
I'm working on a limerick.
Oh, I thought about that today. I didn't actually do one. I failed, didn't I? Attempt.
It's not going to have anything about Nantucket in it.
Or somebody whose legs are too long for the couch. Is that another one?
Yeah,
Well, let's see. What do I have from you, Glenda?
should be the last thing I sent you.
I sat in my lonely rocking chair.
No, no, that's an old one.
You sent me one that's not yours. It's called
Yeah,
Tree.
yeah, that I sent one after that. A couple after that.
Gosh, that is very weird. I didn't get them. Yeah, why don't you send them again now? Maybe I'll
Okay,
catch it.
I'll do that now.
I've been having some trouble with my messaging. I don't know what it is. have a writer's voice. Well, in the meantime, maybe I'll read some of my poetry.
Yeah, do that because I'm having trouble getting out of this.
Oh yeah, you gotta get out and get back in or something.
Yeah.
Huh. What's going on? Let's see. All right, this one's called The Computer. The computer doesn't get me. I only turned away to watch the jaunty red house finch and his black and white wife take turns at the feeder. You turned black in that time. You didn't believe I was still there. To you, I'm a slow student. I need to be trained in speed and diligence. You take me back to the beginning of my search. Okay, I say, I'll search in my undisciplined way. I'll go walking like a dog, sniffing every bush, charging off at real or imagined rabbits, and all the while I'll be watching for the doors to the castle to appear. You don't understand split attention, do you? Between those attentions are all the mysteries of the universe. I'll travel with my soul, let him find my place in this messy world. We'll stop at a shallow pond. There we'll see the heavens reflected. The heavens where there is so much time, no one keeps track of it. Let's see.
Okay, I sent it to you. You should have it.
Let me see. Oh my God, I don't have it. What is going on? What is going on? Darn. Well, maybe it'll take a little time to come through.
Yeah.
Maybe I've got too many old messages I gotta delete.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, I get all these political things, and I don't look at them. But I should get rid of them. Yeah,
It should have come right after where you wrote reading at 6.
yeah, no, nothing yet.
It
Hmm.
said sending. It sent on my end.
It's weird. I don't have Messenger anymore. This is it. This is kind of a discombobulated day, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let's see. I guess I'll read another one of mine. This one's called Progress. I'm trying to write a poem at the cafe when a lady wearing too much cheap perfume sits next to me. I go outside where the air has been accepting and diffusing our byproducts of progress without complaint for so long. How much longer? A crow calls from the rooftop. He has no idea the world is in trouble. He was born and now he lives. Like the yellow-eyed blackbird who is finding cake crumbs which he doesn't know are bad for him. Intentionally inoffensive music is being piped outside. I'm like the crow, the blackbird. This is my time to live. I don't want to worry too much. I'm enjoying my coffee that comes from the dying jungles. A man stumbles toward me. He has trouble talking. I try to ignore him. Then I see he's not crazy. He's obviously had a stroke. There's an intelligent man in this damaged body, determined to communicate. He has seen my poetry books. At last I understand him. He is saying that poetry is a prayer. We both smile. I get out a clean piece of paper and begin again. It's the least I can do. Easy. Ah, success. Yeah, this is 3 years, Glenda. This is a poem by Glenda Reed, The Warm Side of the Window. I watch from the warm side of the window as snow falls softly, covering the world in ermine white. I feel the feeders in anticipation, grateful now, as are the wrens and chickadees and cardinals. They seem to accept the new seeds. What choice do they have? I feel a little guilty putting price over their preference. I have that problem too, Linda. But really, they must accept some of the blame, because their habit of kicking their food to the ground while browsing for just the right seed to partake carpets the deck with discarded sunflower seeds. I remember being younger and reveling in the cold, in the kiss of a snowflake on my upturned face. Now these old bones gather sweaters and blankets while I sit in my chair, hoarding the warmth. That young girl danced in the snow, twirled about, laughing at the snow angel she only just met. I wonder if those younger birds watched in surprise to see a creature dancing before their incredulous eyes. For why would a being choose to willingly slide through soft, chilly snowdrifts when seeds aren't involved? But now I agree with my avian friends. Why would I leave this comfortable perch to disturb the pristine and sparkling white cloak of nature, Mother Nature's glory? Such hubris I have, to think I'd the right to mar her simple white dress. Oh, that's a beautiful line.
Thank you.
Mother Nature's glory, such hubris I'd have to think I'd have the right to mar her simple white dress. I think instead I'll watch from the warm side of the window. Yeah. Well, I'm with you, Glenda. I sit in my little hut looking at my birds. But yeah, like you, those little buggers like the expensive seeds,
Yeah.
but it's costing me a fortune. So I mix in the cheaper in there, so they, after a while, they get hungry and eat it.
Mm-hmm.
Brenda, are you still out in the car?
I am. Yep, I'm here.
Oh, hope you're staying warm.
No, I'm barely staying warm, actually.
Really staying warm.
I haven't turned my car on, so I don't
Right.
have the heat on. But I have multiple layers.
You're living up to your name as Brenda. Well, what else? I get tired of reading my own. I've got a new poetry book coming out, but it's taking a while. Oh gosh. Well, since we're talking about birds, I'll read one. The quail. The quail is a California bird. Kind of mostly runs along the ground in big flocks. The quail. Finding a shady spot on the trail, I lean against a pine whose branches fan out above me. There are many clusters of 4 or 5 cones. It may be old and dying. I mean to think about my place in the living world, A cool wind is whispering in from the ocean. I see no animals until a blue jay flies squawking by. I sit very still, and now a bunny appears out of the bushes. Then I see a lizard doing push-ups. Now a troop of quail come up the path, pecking incessantly at the ground like moving electrons. The lookout quail seems not to notice me. My God, will they walk right over my feet? But they turn unhurriedly into the bushes. Their delightful peeps enchant me. Out of the blue, it occurs to me they don't know who they are. They just are. Nature cradles me like a mother, whispers like the wind telling me, I know you need to know, but first simply be. Let's see. One more by me, I guess. This is called The Caterpillar. Next to my eye on the restaurant patio rail bounces by a caterpillar. His feelers sense the way. First two feet lead direction. Middle feet propel him in his up and down way. What looks like a rump stays on the wood, sliding along. When he is gone, I focus to the distance. Far below, a river flows sinuously through the gorge. When it hits stones, it foams around them. Smooth slate gray areas I know were deep pools. I imagine fish in there, wriggling like puppies, staying still against the current, alert to food floating by, perhaps a caterpillar like mine. Maybe knocked off a branch by a blundering bear intent on berries, or dropped by a blue jay startled by a raven, left to drift in icy water. All things moving in the four directions, striving to live. Now my caterpillar reappears. He rises up on his butt and middle legs, looking around, looking for direction. Sitting on my chair, I look up at the white clouds that seem to expand upward toward heaven. Alrighty. Well, I'll read some other people here. This is by Robinson Jeffers, who lives in the turn of the century in the California coast. Birth dues, D-U-E-S, birth dues. Joy is a trick in the air. Pleasure is merely contemptible, the dangled carrot the ass follows to market or precipice. But limitary pain, the rock under the tower and the hewn coping that takes thunder at the head of the turret, terrible and real. Therefore, a mindless dervish carving himself with knives will seem to have conquered the world. The world's God is treacherous and full of unreason, a torturer, but also the only foundation and the only fountain. Who fights him eats his own flesh and perishes of hunger, who hides in the grave. To escape him is dead, who enters the Indian. This poem is crazy. Recession to escape him is dead. Who falls in love with the God is washed clean, of death desired and death dreaded. He has joy, but joy is a trick in the air, and pleasure, but pleasure is contemptible, and peace is based on solider than pain. He has broken boundaries a little that will estrange him. He is monstrous, but not to the measure of the God. But I, having told you, however, I suppose that few in this world have energy to hear effectively, have paid my birth dues, and quits with the people. Oh my God. I actually was going to read the one on the other page here, and I decided I'd try that one. I'm sorry I did. I had no idea what that was about. Maybe this one's simpler. Evening ebb. The ocean has not been so quiet for a long while. Five night herons fly shorelong, voiceless in the hush of the air, or over the calm of an ebb that almost mirrors their wings. The sun has gone down, and the water has gone down from the weed clack rock, but the distant cloud wall rises, the ebb whispers. Great cloud shadows float in the opal water. Through rifts in the screen of the world, pale gold gleams, and the evening star suddenly glides like a flying torch, as if we had not been meant to see her, rehearsing behind the screen of the world for another audience. He's hard to read, you know. It's a little like Mary Oliver. It just is like one big long sentence. Okay. Yeah. Let's see what else I got. This is by Rilke, Going Blind. She sat much like the others at tea. At first it was as if she held her cup a little differently from the others. She gave a smile. It almost hurt. And when the time came to rise and talk, and slowly, in no special order, passed through many rooms, talking and laughing, then I saw her. She came behind the others, seeming subdued, like someone who soon will have to sing before many people. Of her pale eyes full of joy, light fell from outside as on a pond. She followed slowly, taking a long time, as though something hadn't yet been surmounted, and yet, as soon as she was past it, she would no longer walk, but fly.
Mm.
Okay. This one's Don Juan's childhood. In his slenderness, already almost a decisive factor, was the bow that never failed him with women, and sometimes, no longer averse to being seen, an inclination would rise into his face. Toward a woman passing by, a woman borrowed to him by a strange image from the past, and he would smile, for he was no longer the weeper who took himself often into the dark and shed himself. And while this totally new assonant assurance often soothed and nearly spoiled him, he now could soberly bear the full gaze of women which admired him and moved him. I'm sorry, I'm picking a lot of difficult poems tonight. Let's see. Here's a little one by W.B. Yeats. The rose of the world. Who dream that beauty passes like a dream? For these red lips, with all their mournful pride, mournful that no new wonder may betide. Troy passed away in one high funeral gleam, as Usna's children died. We in the laboring world are passing by, amid men's souls that waver and give place, like the pale waters in their wintry race, under the passing stars, foam of the sky, lives on his lonely face. Bow down, archangels, in your dim abode, before you were, or any hearts to beat. Weary and kind, one lingered by his seat. He made the world to be a grassy road before her wandering feet. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, one by Billy Collins. It's called Litany. You are the bread and the knife, the crystal goblet and the wine. You are the dew on the morning grass and the burning wheel of the sun. You are the white apron of the baker and the marsh bird suddenly in flight. However, you are not the wind in the orchard, the plums on the counter, or the house of cards. And you are certainly not the pine-scented air. There is no way you are the pine-scented air. It is possible that you are the fish under the bridge, maybe even the pigeon on the general's head, but you are not even close to being the field of cornflowers at dusk. And a quick look in the mirror will show that you are neither the boots in the corner nor the boat asleep in its boathouse. It might interest you to know, speaking of the plentiful imagery of the world, that I am the sound of rain on the roof. I also happen to be the shooting star, the evening paper blowing down an alley, and the basket of chestnuts on the kitchen table. I am the moon in the trees and the blind woman's teacup. Well, that goes back to that other poem. Yeah. But don't worry, I am not the bread and the knife. You are still the bread and the knife. You will always be the bread and the knife, not to mention the crystal goblet and somehow the wine. Well, that was a lot of nice images, but I don't know what it meant.
That was Rilke? That was Rilke?
No, that was Billy Collins.
Oh, Billy Collins. Oh, okay.
A New York poet. I'm running out of time, says Mr. Zoom here. Okay. Well, yeah, I've got another ode by Neruda. These are usually fun. She might be wrong. Okay, I'll read it. Ode to Salt. I saw the salt in the shaker in the salt flats. I know you will never believe me, but it sings, the salt sings, the height of the salt plains, it sings through a mouth smothered by earth. I shuddered in these deep solitudes when I heard the voice of the salt in the desert near Antofagasta. The entire salt plain speaks. It is a broken voice, a song full of grief. Then in its own mind's rock salt, a mountain of buried light. A cathedral through which light passes, crystal of the sea abandoned by the waves. And then on every table on this earth, salt, your nimble body pouring out the vigorous light over our foods, preserver of the stores of the ancient ships. You are the explorer in the ocean, substance, going first over the unknown, barely open roots of the sea foam. Dust of the sea, the tongue receives a kiss of the night sea from you. Taste recognizes the ocean in each salted morsel, and therefore the smallest, the tiniest wave of the shaker brings home to us not only your domestic whiteness, but the inward flavor of the infinite. That's quite a line. The inward flavor of the infinite. I should write some odes. That sounds fun. I'm running out of time, but I should read a couple of Marys, or at least one Mary. Okay, this one's called Night in the River. I have seen the great feet leaping into the river. I have seen moonlight milky along the long muzzle. I have seen the body of something scaled and wonderful slumped in the sudden fire of its mouth, and I could not tell which fit me more comfortably, the power or the powerlessness. Neither would have me entirely. I was divided, consumed by sympathy, pity, admiration. After a while it was done. The fish had vanished, the bear lumped away to the green shore, into the trees. And there was only this story. It followed me home and entered my house, a difficult guest with a single tune, which it hums all day and through the night, slowly or briskly, it doesn't matter. It sounds like the river leaping and falling. It sounds like a body falling apart. That's a nice line. It sounds like a river leaping and falling. It sounds like a body falling apart. Yeah, let's see. I've got one more Mary, and then we'll sign off here. Here's a little one. Ocean. I am in love with ocean, lifting her thousands of white hats in the chop of the storm, or lying smooth and blue, the loveliest bed in the world. In this personal life, there is always grief more than enough, a heart load for each one of us on the dusty road. I suppose there is a reason for this, so I will be patient, acquiescent, but I will live nowhere except here by ocean, trusting equally in all the blast and welcome of her sorrowless salt self. Salt again. Okay, Glenda and Brenda, I'm going to have to sign off here, and it's great to have you both here. And have a lovely week, both of you.
You too.
And alrighty. Bye, Brenda.
See you next week.
Yeah. Hopefully Julie will be able to come. Alrighty. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Brenda.
Love you, John. Thanks for the reading.
Oh, thanks for coming by.
Yeah, well, now that I know I can look you up on my phone, then if I'm out and about, I can always stop and do it.
Yeah,
So,
they're good that way. You can go into the store.
yeah.
Okay, guys. See you later.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.